And there's always this fight between these two sides, these two aspects. See? So especially in the beginning and in the end of love of Krishna, there are these two complementary aspects. That, for example, in the beginning, we feel this attraction to Krishna, and we want to just give up everything and run away, and, you know, like joining the circus. And we want to run away and join the devotees wherever they are. And usually this is not possible, but even I can remember when Srila Prabhupada was present, that many devotees did this, actually. I was on the Radha Damodar bus party with Vishnu Jan Swami for over a year. And we would travel around in the buses and make transcendental festivals of chanting every place we went. Every town and village, practically. We would stop and find a park or a school and set up and play instruments and chant and distribute prasadam. It was the most ecstatic thing you've ever seen. And so many devotees surrendered everything. In fact, we financed that party, a bus full of devotees and distributing prasadam, tons of prasadam every day. We financed it by the donations that devotees made when they surrendered. Because they would say, oh, I really want to join your bus party. Okay, fine. So come on, shave up. We'll give you a dhoti. You can stay on the bus, and you just don't sell everything and donate the money. So they'd sell their car and their stereo and all their stuff, and then they would donate the money. And by that alone, from the new devotees joining, we financed that whole party. I've seen it. And we have a similar experience now, because actually devotees coming and planning to stay with us in the near future are becoming life members, and they're giving money, and we're saving that money. We're not spending it. We don't spend that money on maintenance. We're saving it for capital investments so that we will have a place for all the devotees to stay. The money that we spend on maintenance comes from regular donations, like the university fees and stuff like that. We're saving the money, the big donations that we get, for our community, for a piece of property. So anyway, there's this nectar, and then there's this other poisonous aspect, simultaneously enjoying and suffering. The devotees, the gopis are conflicted because it's like they want to run off with Krishna in the forest. But at the same time, they have some hesitation because of religious principles. So they're torn between these two things. Krishna likes this drama. Krishna is very fond of drama. He likes to create a situation where there's drama or conflict. And that conflict will then resolve at the last possible moment. We've all been through this many times in our community. So we're getting used to it. Could we turn on the fan just a little bit? And in Vrindavan, there are many dramas created by Krishna, especially around killing the demons and like that. So, yeah, just low. Just turn it on low. It doesn't have to be like going really fast. Yeah, that's okay. So then, in the Kaishora age, turn it down a little. Just slow, just to make some circulation. In the Kaishora age, beginning from the 11th year and continuing up to the end of 15th year, Krishna's arms, legs, and thighs become marked with 3 divisional lines. At that time, Krishna's chest challenged a hill of Marakata jewels. His arms challenged pillars of Indranila jewels. The 3 lines of his waist challenged the waves of the river Jamuna, and his thighs challenged beautiful bananas. One gopi said, "With all these exquisite features of his body, Krishna is too extraordinarily beautiful, and therefore I am always thinking of him to protect me, because he is the killer of all demons. The idea expressed in this statement is that the gopis were comparing their attraction for Krishna to an attack by demons, and to counteract their attraction for the beauty of Krishna, they were also turning to Krishna, hopefully, because he's the killer of all kinds of demons. In other words, they were perplexed, because on the one hand they were attracted by the beauty of Krishna, and on the other they needed Krishna to drive away the demon of such attraction. Lovely paradoxical thing. This Kaishora age can be translated as adolescence. At the end of this period, all the gopis said, Krishna is the killer of the attraction of Cupid, and as such, he disturbs the patience of all newly married girls. Krishna's bodily features have become so exquisite, it is as if they were all manifesting an artistic sense of the highest sort. His dancing eyes have dimmed the brilliance of the most expert dancer, and so there is no longer any comparison to the beauty of Krishna. Learned scholars therefore describe the features of his body at this time as nava-yovana, newly invented youthfulness. At this stage of Krishna's bodily features, the conjugal loving affairs with the gopis and similar pastimes become very prominent. There are 6 features of conjugal love affairs, called peacemaking, picking a quarrel, going to meet one's lover, sitting together, separation, and support. Lord Krishna expanded an empire of these 6 features, of which he was the ruling prince. These wonderful poetic statements in the scriptures are just like so far out. Somewhere he was picking quarrels with the young girls. Somewhere he was scratching them with the nails of parrots. Somewhere he was busy going to visit the gopis, and somewhere he was negotiating through cowherd friends to take shelter of the gopis. In other words, Krishna was engaged in all these pastimes simultaneously, in many forms, you see. So some gopis were, they were fighting with Krishna. And at the same time, another group of gopis was making peace with Krishna. While at the same time he was negotiating to meet some other gopis in the bushes by sending messengers back and forth. And in another place he was already in the bushes. So, some of the gopis addressed him thus: Dear Krishna, because of your adolescent age, you have become just the spiritual master of these young girls, and you are teaching them to whisper among themselves. As if young girls need any teaching to whisper. You are teaching them to offer solemn prayers, as well as training them to cheat their husbands and join you in the gardens at night without caring for the instructions of their superiors. You are enthusing them by the vibration of your enchanting flute, and as their teacher, you are teaching them all the intricacies of loving affairs. Try to understand, some of these pastimes are so wild that the superiors of the gopis, one of the gopis would accuse her of being with Krishna, of going and meeting Krishna in the forest at night. And then she would get some of her friends to say, no, Krishna wasn't with her, Krishna was with us. See? And then there would be always whispering back and forth between the gopis that, oh, let's go, what we're going to tell our parents, and then we're going to make this, and we're going to meet Krishna. And then, like this, there was all this, conspiracies among the gopis, the different groups of gopis and girlfriends and all of this. The whole thing that goes on in the material world among young girls and young boys. This was going on between all the gopis in Vrindavan with Krishna. But in this in this instance, all these pastimes are the highest level of transcendental love. So just try to understand how Krishna captured the gopis with his beauty. You are enchanting them by the vibration of your enchanting flute, and as their teacher, you are teaching them all the intricacies of loving affairs. It is said that even when Krishna was a boy of 5, he manifested such youthful energies. But learned scholars do not explain them because of the absence of a suitable age. See, that's because Krishna is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He always contains all of the potencies and all of the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.